Thank you for inviting me to speak here, and it's a great privilege to open this session called XLarge. Although XLarge slightly reminds me of the feeling when you go to a department store to buy some clothes and look at the size of the trousers and realize that you have permanently moved into another category, that you are not anymore young and slim. But what you lose in body profile, you may gain in experience. I hope that's true. But that's life. I come from Finland, which is a northern country, 5.5 million inhabitants, very sparsely populated country, so that if all Finnish people were put on the map of Finland, I was standing here and the next one would stand at least 100 meters in each direction. So there are parts in Finland where it's more normal that you encounter a bear or a wolf than another human being. But still, Finland is a country of late urbanization and people are still moving into bigger cities. You may think that they are running away from the bears, but that's not true because the bears are following, because lately there has been a lot of bears around the bigger cities also. But I was supposed to speak about homelessness. I work in the Y Foundation and I will tell you a little bit of it later. So still we have also homelessness in Finland. Homelessness has been a big issue in Finland for a very long time, but in recent years we have made some quite remarkable progress. So in recent years Finland has been the only European country where homelessness has decreased. At the end of 2016, we had around 6,700 single homeless persons. And you must remember that 80% of them are people living temporarily with friends and relatives. So we don't have any more street homelessness in Finland. We don't have rough sleepers. And I think that's quite a big change that has been happening during the last years. Also long-term. We started in 2008 a national program to reduce long-term homelessness with the ambitious goal first to halve it and then to end it completely. We have not managed to do it completely, but there has been a significant change in the homelessness, so that also long-term homeless people, who are those people that are the most vulnerable group with severe social and health problems, we have been able to provide housing for them. During this program period, we have been able to provide over 3,000 apartments, individual housing solutions for long-term homeless people. This program was implemented in wide partnership between state authorities, cities and NGOs, both national and local NGOs. And Y Foundation was maybe the key player among the NGOs on a national level in this program. This is a figure that shows what has been happening with homelessness in Finland. The blue ones and the red ones are the apartments that Y Foundation has been buying during these years. So Y Foundation was founded in 1985, and our founding bodies are there. The big cities, Finnish Church, Red Cross, Mental Health Association, and also the Finnish construction industry and Finnish Construction Trade Union were the founding members. They are still part of the administration of the foundation, but actually they are not financing us in any way at this moment. The idea of Y Foundation was to provide normal, good quality housing for homeless people and people in risk to become homeless, and to end the homelessness of single homeless people. The name Y Foundation comes actually from a Finnish word yksinäinen, meaning single or lonely. So the original idea was to buy flats from the private market to provide housing for long-term homeless people. We are using the housing first principles it's easy to find ethical arguments and also economical arguments in favor of housing first. We have made some evaluation that shows the savings for the society, and also the ethical argument is quite obvious. For us, housing first means good quality housing in normal environment, own independent rental apartment with own rental contract and support available if needed. It also means permanent solutions. For this reason, we have converted and renovated hostels and shelters in Finland into supported housing units with independent individual flats and on-site support personnel. In 2008, we still had over 600 bed places in hostels in Helsinki. Now we have only one emergency center with 52 bed places. Hostels, I think, are always a temporary solution, and they keep up a homelessness subculture. They don't provide privacy and very limited possibilities for recovery and integration. My foundation is the biggest non-profit organization in Finland which provides social housing and housing solutions for homeless people. Our housing options consist scattered housing, service housing and supported housing units, and this is an example of the supported housing unit. 35 apartments, studio apartments, 1 or 2 rooms, personnel provided by the Salvation Army, in this case, support personnel. In terms of social integration, I think that providing housing is not enough. When housing problems have been solved, there arises a hunger for meaningfulness in life. And for that reason, we have started an ambitious program to provide proper employment opportunities with proper salary for our tenants. At this moment, we have around 30 people, our own tenants, working in our office or doing cleaning or various maintenance jobs in our real estates. And we have plans to enlarge these activities with several both commercial and non-profit partners. We believe that ending homelessness is a question of basic human needs, human rights and dignity. A civilized society takes care of the most vulnerable people, including homeless people and refugees. And solving homelessness is not a question of money, it's a question of human responsibility and a question of political will. Some other people have said it much better, and I refer to Spanish philosopher Daniel Innerarity in his book, The Ethics of Hospitality. He says, in a very profound and poetic way, the fact that we are hosts to each other means that our situation in the world is structured around reception and encountering, that mere existence is a constant debt, that there is freedom in the fact of giving and receiving that goes beyond the imperatives of reciprocity. Ethics of hospitality relies on the experience that human life is less a set of sovereign initiatives than a set of replies to the invitations that the world gives us, often without our consent. I think that the most important thing is to treat homeless people with compassion, to understand the importance of every encounter, meeting people who have their own personal histories and whose life stories open as it continues into the future. As an American poet, James Richardson, in his aphorism says, "No one has yet failed in the future." Thank you.